Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is entitled Homecoming. It was written by Thomas McKeon, who is also our game master. He will also be doing the recap tonight. And this is episode 12. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Thomas?
Thanks, Tom. It's evening, the night of April 9th, 1931. 4 days since, the players were hired by Bethany and Samantha Tucker to look into the disappearance of Timothy Tucker, sister and husband respectively. In the last 4 days, the players have begun their search. And for those last 4 days, they've weaved through the intrigue of an investigation into City Hall, of which Timothy was an architect for. It appeared that Timothy was in the middle of something big, involving money, secrets, conspiracy, and murder, all centered around Jimmy Walker, mayor of New York. After days of investigating, a near pass at death, some light breaking and entering, and even a partial betrayal by one of the investigators, the group found more questions than they did answers. As a result, the group decided to turn in their one substantial piece of evidence to the people who needed it most, state investigators hoping to take down Mayor Walker. Now, Greta is gone. The targets are off the players' backs, and they can now continue their investigation into Timothy Tucker. But now they have no leads. That is, until they receive a convenient call from Union Trust of New York just before closing. It appears that when one door closes, a window opens. It seems as if the bank has received information from the check stub the players provided. However, the banker says that there is no W. Darby, not anymore. The account is actually a trust account under the name William Darby. The primary user, who the account was made for, however, is Tally Darby. With Tally's full name and address, the players rushed to the International District, a slummy section of Brooklyn's once vibrant community. Tucked away in between tenements and warehouses sat a single longhouse, a 3-story home with peeling white paint and ornate tapestries for curtains. Bars run up the windows on the first 2 stories, typical for homes in this neighborhood. Felix led the way, followed by Hop, and the two found some interesting things. The first, a half-circle of salt just before the door, frozen to the wood of the porch. The perimeter of the circle, however, appears to have been broken before the players arrived, frozen salt scattered about. The second, and most concerning, however, was the door's lock was broken. Unlocked, Felix pushed open the door, revealing a dark interior. Something feels off when the door creaks open. There's a feeling each of you get staring into the pitch black of the home, as an overpowering scent of incense wafts over you all. It's a feeling like you shouldn't be there. Yet, there's a feeling like something is inside waiting for you. You all stand at the precipice of the home, Felix at the head of your group. What you seek is inside. What do you do?
I've got a bad feeling about this, Hawk. Look, I don't want to seem. I don't want to seem like I'm a wimp, but after that shootout and everything that happened last year,
I understand. You want me to go
honest,
first?
I'm not really good with dead bodies and things. I mean, it's not, you know.
I'll go first then. I've got my gun drawn, and as I push open the door and move inside, I'm looking on either side to make sure there's nobody standing there ready to whack me. But I'm also going to call out and say, Miss Darby, are you here?
So you push through Felix and you step inside, gun drawn. Luckily, there's no room on the sides of this very small kind of hallway. It's like it could be considered a foyer, but it's more like just a small hallway entrance. So there's very little room for someone to actually stand there waiting for you. As you step inside, you can see that this house is cold. No heat. It's the same temperature outside. It's colder inside than it is out. Oddly enough. When you call out for Tally, no response. In the foyer, Hawk, you find that there's not much. There appears to be a small console table just to the side, but it strikes you, not unlike the coat hanger with like scarves and shawls, and also the bucket of salt with like a scoop in it. It strikes you because it's a shrine of some sort.
I'm basically following Clifton kind of close. Well, not. I'm giving a distance, but as soon as I see that shrine, I kind of shiver, and I'm like,
Well, describe the shrine. What's the
feeling
shrine
about
look like?
this.
The shrine consists of a small stone statue of some kind, 2 urns, a bowl, and then another small stone-looking jar. How many of you are coming inside? This is very plain to see. It's like it's right there in the doorway. It's not hidden. It's like the very first thing you see entering the home. It's like a greeting, essentially.
Felix, is this some sort of a Jewish thing?
I was going to say, too, that I think last episode, William and I were waiting in the car. So once I see them about to go in, I'm like, what are they doing? They're going in? And I'm going to get out of the car and approach the house, too.
I'm following.
Right.
And William follows Tommy.
I'll follow the group as well.
Can I look at the shrine? Is it anything I recognize?
Well, let's go over each individual thing. What are you focusing on? There's on this small console table, there's quite a lot. There's a statue. There's these urns. They're urns. They're very clearly urns.
I'm going to continue in a little farther and make sure there's nobody here.
Okay.
So if there are other doors leading out, I'm going to peek through them, make sure nobody's standing there ready to shoot us. But I asked Felix to take a look.
When you say urns, are they like canoptic jars or something?
They look like urns, not canoptic jars. Like there definitely
like
will not
flower
be any.
urns.
I mean, no, they would be canoptic jars, urns. Yeah, they look like the urns of the dead. Small, bulbous. The urns, since you're focusing on them, one is right like that. One is gray. The other one is a goldish color. It's got along the rims, you can see there's wording. One is very clearly Arabic on the gold one. The other one is very clearly Latin. And as you're looking at that, Felix, Hawk has moved deeper into the house. What about everybody else? Are you standing there at the shrine?
I am basically following Clifton with my gun out, just to give him some backup,
So
just in case he needs it.
We're doing that thing where I motion for him to go to the other side of the door, and then we both to make sure there's nobody. And we're also looking for bodies if there's somebody on the floor or something like that.
Sure. Thompson, I'm going to say that for whatever reason, you're the last one in. As soon as you walk into the foyer and you look at the shrine, you can see Felix is kind of studying it. You can kind of see past William and Tommy. That is a statue of Anubis. And it's not like a cheap carving that you would get at like a flea market. This is like an antique.
So what is it made out of?
Stone, sandstone.
Sandstone.
It's
I don't have appraisal, but I do have. Well, I have archaeology. Could I tell how? I mean, if this like how old it might be, or is this like of a new construction, or will my archaeology work for that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an archaeology roll.
Wow, right on the money. I got a 51 out of 51.
Damn. All right. Now you would think that just by looking at a statue and me saying it's of Anubis, people would just be like, "Oh, it's a statue of a jackal-headed being." Why people weren't able to gather that, but you could, is because there's a lot of fading on the sandstone. It's old. You're not sure how old, what dynasty, what time period, but it's definitely older than the Roman Empire.
Okay.
You can see that just the features are gone. It's
Older
been blasted away by time.
Wow. Okay. So it's that old.
Yes.
It's just lying about as if it's another piece of furniture then.
There are candles around it, and the way that everything is kind of situated, it's not like it's furniture. It's not like it's a decoration. This is very clearly
A shrine.
a shrine. It is very clearly a place of reverence. Like Anubis is in the center between the two urns. The bowl is directly in front of it. The jar is off to the side. Tommy and William, they're moving in deeper into the house. What are you guys doing? Are you just following them, or are you looking at something on the table?
Is there a light switch?
Yes, there is a light switch in the foyer.
I'll check the lights, see if they're on.
You flick, nothing turns on. William, as you walk in, your foot hits something on the ground, and you can just hear the rattling of papers. Just off to the side, I just hit my printer. Just off to the side, like they were shot through the door, mail, just like a stack.
Alert Tommy to the fact that obviously nobody's been here for a while. The mail's stacked up. Have we got our flashlights on us by any chance, would we say?
I'll say you have one flashlight, and then everyone else has lighters.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. If between Tommy and I we've got one, I'll put that on and have a kind of closer look to. Is it all just letters and mail and everything that's lying about?
Yeah, there's letters and mail. The dating of it looks to be about the latest one is from about 2 weeks ago. And you can see that in the pile, you can see Tommy, since you were the one to flick the light switch. One of them, no, not two. Two of them are failure to pay notices from the electric company.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not surprising.
Back to Hawk and Fowler. So you guys have moved deeper into the home. So it's a long house. So there's basically it's basically the living, the foyer. And there's no real doors. Whatever doors that were here have been removed. There's the dining room and the living room, which are connected, and then a kitchen. Whatever else is probably up on the second and third story. So bedrooms, the bathroom, parlors, whatever. If there are parlors, there probably are. They'd be upstairs. There's a small bathroom just before you pass into the dining room, but it's just a wash closet. It's just a toilet.
All right. So my first pass is just going to be to make sure there's nobody here.
Sure.
And then I'll say to Fowler, I say start doing a more thorough look at things, and I'll go up to the next level and make sure there's nobody there.
Okay,
I don't think there's anybody in the house, but let's make sure nobody's dead on the floor.
that's always a good idea there. So I will kind of make sure that, the bottom floor is fully secured first, and then when that is, then I'll do a thorough search of each room.
Right. So you guys...
I'm sorry, and do I smell decay of any kind?
No, but it would be very difficult to smell anything other than the incense. As you guys walk through the house, you can see that hanging from the ceiling, set into the wood ceiling, are brass incense holders that hang from chains. They just kind of swing there in the soft wind. While no incense is burning, the oil or the petals inside still produce a very strong scent. But other than that, you don't smell anything.
And as I get to the bottom of the stairs and start up, I turn back and I say, "You think she was like a fortune teller or something?"
And Hawk is standing at the stairs. It's directly visible to the foyer, so everyone can hear. Basically, this entire area is open concept, so you can all kind of hear and see each other.
Would it almost be more like a gathering place than just a fortune teller's home? Just the setup. Is it more like big enough for a larger group of people?
Not on this first floor. Hawk did a very cursory glance. You may discern more stuff as you go to each room. Hawk is just securing, essentially.
Safety is my important thing here. First.
So Hawk is going to head upstairs. Fowler, tell me which room you want to focus on and do a more intense cursory glance through. Dining room, living room, kitchen.
Let's go with the living room, then the dining room, then the kitchen.
Yeah, and hopefully at that point others will be joining you. So let's go back now to Felix. So you were looking at the urns, correct?
Yes, I'm. Well, the one you said that is in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show that to Dr. Thompson. You speak Latin, don't you? Read Latin. What do you make of this?
All right. Well, I sort of browsed over Latin when I was in, my youth. But sure, let me give it a go.
Sure.
That is 15 out of 21.
Okay. The script that reads on the lining of the urn is, "We commend into thy mercy all other thy servants, which are departed hence from us with the sign of faith, and now do rest in the sleep of peace. Grant unto them, we beseech thee, thy mercy and everlasting peace." Does anyone have like a religion roll? Not a cult.
A cult?
Not a cult. Something besides that.
I have a
religion.
knowledge of biblical Hebrew.
I have Aramaic.
Yeah. I'll let you.
And I mean, I could always go back to my anthropology because that deals with, that's more of like cultural.
Yeah, we'll say either a history roll or an anthropology roll. You guys can pick. Everyone in the area. So Tommy, William, Felix, Henry.
That is a 45 out of 71.
I got a 0-1 out of 65 for history.
You're kidding me.
Damn.
All right.
Not messing around.
Well, aren't you a girly swat?
Well, finally, I could be of use,
You'll be of use, Dr. Thompson. Don't worry. William, you got the 01. So this is the Litany of the Dead. It's pulled directly from the Anglican Book of Common Prayer. However, this prayer, the litany, it's important to note that this prayer has not been used in the Church of England. The Church of England, so since 1555.
Okay. Well, I'll let the professor know.
Yeah, I probably pretty much gathered it, but not as quickly as you have.
Yeah, you didn't know the exact dates. You just knew what the litany was.
Right.
The other urn is sitting there, and as I said, it has Arabic around it. It's got gold trimming, just gold painted trimming. Tommy, what are you looking at as they're kind of handling the urn? What are you doing?
I'm kind of focused on the statue right now, and I'm curious what my knowledge of Anubis would be. Is that something I can roll for, or?
Yeah, well, in archaeology, anthropology, occult.
I'm gonna try occult. Nope, I missed it by 15.
Okay. While you're kind of examining the statue, though, you see that in the wooden cup just in front of the statue and the urns, there appear to be 2 flowers sitting in a still pool of water. Do you have biology or natural world?
I do have some biology, yeah.
Go ahead and roll that.
Nope, 20 points.
It just smells real good.
Tommy, you know that William's really good at that natural world stuff. If you need a hand, just give us a shout.
I do know that, yeah.
He was a Boy Scout.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, that smells nice.
How do the flowers look? Do they look 2 weeks old, or are they fresh?
Very pretty and nice smelling, with a 67.
With a 67, is that a fail or a pass?
That's a fail.
Okay, so they're just pretty flowers.
Yeah. Glad to be of help, Tommy.
Yeah, that helped.
William, as you're kind of examining the flowers, isn't that a central? So I'll just say you smell it. You smell
hidden.
Smell hidden. There's a faint smell of alcohol beside the flowers. As you're kind of examining the bowl, as you kind of picked it, there's a slight odor of alcohol near the shrine.
Not from the bowl itself, but nearby.
Near the shrine. It's not coming from the bowl. The bowl is filled with water.
I say to Tommy, do you smell that? It's like alcohol.
Alcohol? No, I just smell the flowers.
Have a look around about it, the area.
Also give me a spot hidden for it, since we don't have a smell roll.
Did the flowers seem fresh?
No, that you can tell. They seem old. They seem wilted.
I'm
not any good at spot hidden, so no.
Okay. Well, then we will leave that there. Let's now jump to, let's say we'll jump to Fowler since he's downstairs. We'll get to Hawk upstairs in just a moment. So Fowler, you're in the living room. So the living room and the dining room are connected, but you're focused just primarily on the living room. In the dining room, you can see that on a dining room table, there are stacks of books. Stacks of them.
Does any, I guess I'll go worry about that after.
Sure. I'm just letting you know there are stacks of books, papers everywhere. But in the living room, it's very quaint and very small. Fireplace, rug, red armchair facing it, and then a little side table. I'm not going to make you do a spot hidden for this. On the round end table, next to an empty tea mug, there is a copy of We by Evgeny Zamyatin.
Okay.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, not really. But I'm pretty sure it's...
Well, I'll let you hold on to that so you can go tell the others in just a sec. Do you want to do anything with the book?
Is there any inscription inside the book? I kind of open it up. Is there like any, like to somebody or no?
No. However, something odd. The book is literally in Russian. Like, it's not in English, it's in Russian.
Okay.
And every so often you see handwritten notes on the actual pages in English talking about the symbolism and what the person believes this means. Very gentle handwriting too, with a blue ink pen. As you go deeper and deeper into the book, there's lots of these notes, all in English.
Okay.
All right. So, and that's really all that we can see in the living room. So we'll go to Hawk as he climbs the stairs. Hawk, you're walking up the stairs, and up the stairs, you can see that there are pictures all along the walls as it winds up. Some are of an Englishman in uniform in what appears to be a desert. There's also pictures of that same Englishman and a woman who wears a hijab, and you can't clearly see her face because she wears a niqab. But there is one where her face is revealed, and at the top of the stairs. The woman is clearly Middle Eastern, of course. And in the picture, she's very young, very beautiful, smiling without her hijab and niqab, standing in front of Big Ben. Here and there, you also see that there are pictures of a baby, of a young child.
Okay.
So now you're standing in the hallway just before the stairs. There are two doors. One is open, the other is closed. The one that is opened it clearly enters into like a rear parlor.
Okay, I'll look in there first.
Okay.
Without saying it, I'm being very cautious about
Sure.
somebody jumping out.
Sure. So you kind of cautiously step inside. The rear parlor is laid out more like a living room than the living room downstairs.
Okay.
Two large couches facing a long coffee table. There's a phonograph in the corner with a record on it. There are two windows in this room, and they're uncovered. They overlook an alleyway between this street and the next. Between the windows is a very large oak bookshelf. It's filled with all kinds of hardcover books. At this distance, you can't really see, but they're definitely all different sizes, all different ages.
Is there another way out of the room?
Other than the door you came through, no, but as you turn around to look, you see that the door that would enter into the other room. So if you're imagining it, the layout, so you have the windows and then the wall that you came through. There's a door over on the left, and there would be a door on the right where you would enter into the other room on this floor.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is no door. Instead, you see a thick Turkish rug that hangs on a brass rod attached to the wall above the frame. It is pressed up against the door frame. It looks very thick, very heavy.
Well, I'll go over to it and pull the edge back.
As you approach, You get a very bad feeling. Very, very bad. I'd like you to make a POW roll.
Forgot my dice. 76. My POW is 75.
You hesitate. You push back.
All right.
Give me a listen roll.
19. Yes, pass. In fact, it's better than half. Yeah.
Very soft, very faint. It almost merges in with the room tone as you're standing. They're downstairs. You can barely hear them. Almost merging in with the silent room tone. You can hear words. It's like conversations.
Like a woman's voice? Or?
It's difficult to make out, but it sounds like people talking to themselves, people talking to one another, very quiet. You can't make out what's being said.
And is this coming from beyond the tapestry?
Yes.
I've got my gun out, and I'm looking at that, and I say, Miss Darby, we're investigators. We're not here to harm you in any way.
That's when, Hawk, behind you, you hear click, and music begins protruding from the phonograph. Everyone downstairs hears music begin to play.
Okay, I jump and reorient myself so that I can't like be snuck up on.
Yeah, as you turn around, you see that there is no one there.
Okay, I just stand my ground for a few seconds.
All right. As you're doing that, so everyone downstairs, you've just heard music begin to play from upstairs. For anyone interested, it's Guilty by Ruth Etting.
Lovely. It's a nice tune.
So
let's. William shouts, "Mr. Hawk, are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm not sure. There might be somebody up here.
Should we go up, Tommy?
What's he doing up there?
I'm making sure there's nobody with guns.
He's playing. He's playing music. I think he's playing music.
Is it clear? Are there people up there?
I don't know. There might be. Either that or something.
If you guys want to back him up, go right ahead. I'm going to continue to investigate this little shrine.
And
anything else I can gather from here.
And I'll yell at the Hawk, Hawk, do you need help? If not, I'm going to continue into the dining room.
If I needed help, I would say something, but I don't know what's going on. So I'm...
William wants to run up and help out, so he gets the boomerang out and runs up the stair.
Okay.
But I am going to do one thing while I'm standing there. I'm going to go over to the phonograph.
Mm-hmm.
And without turning my back on the carpet thing, because I think that somebody might jump out of there, I'm going to look at the phonograph and see if it somehow is rigged up to go off. I'm still thinking this woman's a fortune teller, and she's got things rigged up so that while she's telling her fortunes, she hits a switch or she steps on a trigger, and it makes the phonograph go on, or whispers come out of places. And so I'm still skeptical, but
sure. You can hear William traipsing upstairs. Does anyone else want to go upstairs?
I am still going to look in the main floor.
Okay.
I'm going to slowly make my way upstairs. I'm hesitant, but I'm going to try and force myself to go up there.
I'm slowly behind Felix. I'm not really in any hurry.
Okay, and then Thompson.
I don't want to see a dead body again.
And Thompson, you wanted to focus on downstairs.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that that William is the first one in, but and William, what you see is Hawk standing there.
I just sort of motioned for William to come over.
And Hawk, there's no device. It's just a phonograph.
Phonograph turned itself on. Don't know how. I'm still thinking it's some sort of rigged up trick, but I don't see the trick.
Is there a rug on the floor? You know, like with a little pressure pad or something?
That's what is there a rug on the floor?
There's a rug on the floor.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I also heard some whispering coming from over where that tapestry is. But I guess I was too cautious to just fling the thing open and look. I think we can get to that same room through the door in the hallway as well.
William goes and takes a look at the tapestry while you're describing it.
William, you go over the tapestry. Are you going to kind of look through?
Is it kind of like? Can you look behind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Be careful, William.
Have I got the flashlight? Did I get the flashlight off of you, Tommy?
Sure. I'm following through.
Having a look.
Use the point of your boomerang.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Check your messages, William. So, Hawk, you see William pull back the rug, almost completely unfazed. Not like you, but he pulls back the rug, looks inside.
Okay. At that point, I move forward and look over his shoulder.
Okay, so you're moving across the room.
William suddenly goes, "Ah!" and throws the curtain back and kind of staggers back towards the stairs.
How much?
I sort of grab William as he staggers.
He's kind of trembling. He's going, the eyes are looking. They're looking. And he hides behind Clifton.
At the moment he cries out, I'm just going to freeze on the stairs and stay exactly where I am.
What about you, Tommy? Are you going to stay still?
I bump into the back of Felix as he freezes.
How about Henry and Fowler? All you hear is William scream out. Like it's a fearful scream.
As soon as I hear that, I basically stop what I'm doing and I basically book it upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way.
Tommy and Felix are on the stairs.
So you guys...
I'm whispering kind of creepily into Clifton's ear behind him, saying, "There's lots of them. There's lots of them. They're in there."
I'm quite happy to stand to the side of the stairs and run past me.
What do I see looking over here? Well, he's now behind me.
Sure.
So I'm right in front of the curtain.
We're going to say that this is when Thompson and Fowler kind of rush in, and you're pulling back the curtain. Let's see. Let me pull it up. I have it here. Okay. Pulling back the rug, it reveals the front parlor. However, it's practically an empty room, save for a large round table and 8 plush chairs surrounding it. There are 4 low-hanging incense burners that surround the table, and in the 4 corners of the square room, you see 6-foot mirrors that stand face to face. So basically they're staring at one another. It's completely pitch black. There's no light at all in this room.
Well, except the light that we can see everything with.
I shakily give Mr. Hawk the torch.
Yeah, you're seeing this because you've pulled back the rug, and the light behind you is filtering inside.
Well, I take the flashlight and I shine it in there.
Okay.
And I say to William, I say, there are mirrors. You saw your own reflection.
It looked real.
Hawk, you see the mirrors and you are immediately unnerved.
Well, because they're mirrors. I don't like mirrors. I don't look actually at the mirrors.
You shine the light inside, and what you see, now that you have the flashlight pointed in, on the ceiling, you see a sigil painted on the ceiling. It's very complicated, so please bear with me as I kind of describe it. The sigil is a circle with 4 starred points that extend out to the hooks of the incense burners. The circle is directly above the table and the chairs. The 4 starred points then create a square that line the trimming of the room. 4 points then shoot out, and they reach down to the mirrors in the corners of the room. What you can see, Hawk, is the circle that's in the very center. There's also there's a square inside of that circle. The circle itself is not a line. All the other points have been painted white as lines, very precisely, like almost machine-like. It is very precise. This must have taken a very long time. It's taken longer now that you realize that the circle is not a line. It is instead 4 small strings of text, each layered over each other. So you have one layer, and then a second layer, and then a second layer, and then a second layer. 4 rings that wrap around one another. You can tell one of the languages, Latin, the 3rd ring. And this is when Fowler and Henry kind of step into the room. Do you guys kind of look over Hawk's shoulder?
Yeah.
She's a fortune teller.
Yes, I also kind of, hey, what's going on? And I kind of
William got spooked. He saw his own reflection and it scared him. But it looks like she's a fortune teller.
And when you say reflection, you all see the mirrors. And looking into the mirrors, you can see that the way that they're set up, it's like infinity stretching out. A very familiar sight to those who looked into the mirror during the last scenario.
William kind of embarrassingly says, Professor Thompson, I think that's Latin up there.
What do the other languages look like?
Thompson is able to tell you. Thompson, go ahead and give me an anthropology.
All right.
What are while he's doing?
13 out of 71, so that is an extreme.
That's an extreme? Okay. While he's doing that, what are Tommy and Felix doing? Are you just standing on the stairs?
Well, given that no one has started shouting in horror anymore, and everything seems to have calmed down, I'm going to sort of cautiously make my way to the top of the stairs and peer into the first room.
Okay. And you see that they're all...
What's going on?
What about you, Tommy? Do you kind of follow cautiously behind Felix?
I follow behind Felix, but then if I remember you saying at the top of the stairs, there was the door that everyone now is looking into, and there was another door on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to open that door.
You grab at the knob and you push. It's nailed shut.
Nailed?
It's nailed shut. You cannot open it. Like, there's no jostling. It's like a wall.
It's just frozen. Well, I guess what I mean is, do I see the nails, or do I just know that it's just not?
Yeah, you can literally see nails sticking out from the wood.
Nailed from the hallway?
Inside. So you can see the points sticking out of the frame.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's weird. I say that out loud. And I've accidentally brought up the statue with me. I didn't mean to, but I did.
Is it the same room though? It's just another door into the same room.
It's another door into the same room.
It's just blocked up so that nobody goes through it.
Oh, the same room? I thought it was on the side of the hallway.
No, it is the same room. The front parlor is a very large room with only a table and 8 chairs, and then 4 incense burners and the 4 mirrors. Thompson, the languages of the rings, beginning with the innermost ring and ending with the last: Arabic, Ancient Greek, Latin, and Nordic runes.
Which is strange because, well, with the Nordic runes, I mean, seems like they're trying to cover all of their bases. But can I understand what they say?
You have Latin, correct?
I have Latin. I have Aramaic, which is sort of an older.
Yeah.
Older.
Similar to Arabic.
Yeah, I'll give you Latin and I'll give you Arabic, but with a penalty die if you want to try.
Okay. Well, this is my Latin roll.
Okay.
43 out of 21, so that's a fail.
Okay.
And Aramaic, that's 41 out of 41. But you said I needed
a penalty die.
Penalty die. So I'll roll that again and see which one is worse. And this one is worse. This is a 91. So,
Professor, I can help with the Latin.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a success.
Yours is a success. It is an incredibly in-depth incantation whose purpose is to open a doorway into another realm of existence entirely.
So William's just reading it out as he goes along to the professor so that he kind of gets a gist of what's going on there.
Okay.
And you all hear this. Now, none of you have actually stepped into the room, correct? You're all just kind of standing on the precipice.
Well, how could they read the circle in the dark with...
Yeah, I think we would be in the room, Professor and me anyway.
Stepped in the room.
Yeah.
It's okay. So you guys entered into the room. William and Hawk, as soon as you step inside, you feel like you're in a crowded train station. It's very suffocated. It's like you're standing shoulder to shoulder with people. Epstein, Thompson, Fowler, you don't feel this way. You just kind of walk in. It's just like a contingency room.
I turn to Mr. Hawk and say, kind of whispering, I told you there was lots of them here.
You can feel there's people in here. I feel it too. Do any of you feel like this room is full of people?
Only us.
Yeah.
There is something bad going on here.
You
said they were trying to open a portal to somewhere?
Yeah.
If they're trying to contact the dead, I think the dead are here.
Fowler, you bang your head into one of the incense holders. They're very low. And you just kind of accidentally like hit it with
ow!
And you can hear the rattling of things inside.
Inside his head?
Yeah.
It could be bones.
Never gave it to them.
Yeah. Tommy, are you in the room with them now, or are you still outside?
Yeah, I keep getting stuck behind Felix, so I'm kind of like push in a little bit. Like,
okay.
Move in, would you? Move in.
You all are definitely, everyone but William, definitely avoid the mirrors, you know. And they're taller than all of you, and they stand in every corner. So it's very difficult to avoid that, but you try. Is there anything...
William wants to go and examine the mirrors. Maybe there's something around about the mirrors or whatever. He touches a glass. He has a look to see if there's anything.
When William starts to move towards the mirrors, I instinctively just grab the back of his shirt and I pull him over.
Okay.
Stay away from the mirrors.
Everything
is about mirrors in this whole thing.
Could I examine the table?
Yeah.
Including under it as well.
Yeah, under the table would be difficult. It's a very large base. But around the trimming, there's nothing there. I'm gonna say that's what you do that first. You kind of look under.
Are you looking for tricks?
Specifically looking for little sort of hidden
tricks,
shelves and things where you know, because I know these seances, there's a lot of trickery to it.
Yes. However, there is nothing. All around, there's nothing. You see that the table is completely bare, except for, and you can see that the square that's inside the circle, the inner square. Inside of that is Sanskrit. I'm saying that you know Sanskrit because you know Hebrew, but it's kind of lined. It's lined in a diagonal, and that you're only seeing it because it's so fine that you had to be like right there. You had to be right underneath the table to see it. However, being in the circle makes you feel a warmth. It's like it almost seems to exude out of you. On the table is, someone needs to know what it is. On the table, you see that there is a jug of water. There's a small wooden box. And then there is a small chime.
I'm going to tentatively open the wooden box.
Okay.
Sort of with my fingernail.
Okay.
And just sort of look in it. Very much at arm's length.
What you see when you open it up are dried bits of plant, kind of almost, it's a mixture of colors, but mainly like a dark, basy earth tone color. Very dried slices. Do you have natural world or, what's the other one? Or anthropology?
I have natural world at base.
I mean, you could try it.
Oh, 28 out of 10. No.
Okay.
I have seen Boris Karloff in The Mummy, though.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder whether this is the fabled Tannis root.
I mean, it doesn't look anything like a root, but it just looks like shriveled up, kind of green, brown-ish plants.
It's not the devil's hemp marijuana, is it?
No, it is not marijuanas. Let's now go over to what is everybody else doing? As Felix is examining the table, does anyone want to go over to him? Is anyone examining the ceiling?
William wants to go to see Felix because he keeps telling people he's good at natural world.
Okay.
I'll let you go, Clifton.
I feel very uncomfortable in this room, so I'm going to leave the room and go look at the bookcase in the previous room.
All right, Hawk. As soon as you exit, immediate relief. It's also like a temperature change. Like it's 20 degrees warmer in the rear parlor.
Clifton, you look more? What was going on in there?
There's dead people in there. I don't know what's up.
I don't see any dead people in there.
I don't see any dead people in there either, but they're there.
What about
Be
Tommy?
careful.
Where's this box that you found, Felix?
It's on the table.
On the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the ceiling to see the lines to see if I could see if there's any the pattern that they're forming, if they're lining up with the house or the walls in any way, or
They're lining up with the walls. I did a mock-up. Let me see if I can find it still. This may take just a quick little howdy-doody second. I hope I didn't delete it. That would have been useful. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Tommy, that stuff in the box might be tea if you want to make us a cup of tea while we're here.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's tea. Let's see.
Dead people tea.
Dead people tea. Let's see if I can find it. Too many of these. No, I cannot find it, but I can just remake it and send it to everybody when I'm done. It does make it makes a clear pattern. With the square just above the center of the table, the circle lined. So the table is inside the circle. The 4 points spreading out to another square, and then from that square, from the corners of that square, 4 other points extending to the mirrors.
Did you say there were 6 mirrors or 4 mirrors?
4 mirrors in the corners of the room.
4, okay.
And the incense burners, they are in the corner of the square, the outer square. It's very difficult without the visual aid. I wish I had it.
I think I got it. I guess what I'm trying to make sure that the markings on the ceiling mostly or only relate to what is in this room. It doesn't extend beyond, because I keep thinking about the salt circle outside, and I'm trying to relate that in relation to what we're looking at here.
No, the salt circle. No, the things in this room are the things that the symbol is. The table, the center of the table, the incense burners, and then the mirrors.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. I'm like, if you guys need anything, I'm gonna go downstairs again to just to do some more quick, thorough searching.
There's also another upstairs, isn't there?
Yes, there's 3 floors.
But might as well.
Okay.
Get the basement or the main floor.
So Fowler, you exit. William, you walk over to Felix. Take a look inside. Give me a natural world.
Yay. Pass.
Peyote.
What?
Peyote. It is flattened slices of peyote. Peyote is a plant used by Native Americans to say that again, Mick?
It's a cactus.
Oh, cactus. It's a plant. Cactuses are plants.
Yeah, but I mean, if you saw a bit of cactus, you'd recognize it as a bit of cactus, wouldn't you?
Well, flattened slices of peyote does not look anything like a cactus.
But William says to Mr. Epstein, "That's not Boris Karloff's fingers. That's a plant. Looks like cactus."
Oh, right. Oh, I thought it might be Lipton's Necro Blend.
So yes, it's used in ceremonies as kind of like a mind expander.
Man, she's really covering all bases.
Yes, it
all
sounds
religions.
like she's been opening the doors of perception.
That could be a good line for a song in the future.
Or a book.
Or a book.
Yeah. Or a movie. Tagline.
Can I ask a different kind of question, Thomas?
Sure.
William obviously had that kind of sense of people. Does his daydreaming thing a little bit, does that feel oppressive? Or does it just feel busy?
So you're daydreaming right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that atmosphere.
Give me 1 second. I gotta type something out. I'm sorry, everybody. It'll be worth it, though. Trust me.
Our GM is very mysterious. Nearly as mysterious as this room.
Tommy is getting distracted by looking at the mirror closely. Like, is it a normal glass mirror? Is it a black scrying mirror? Is there anything unusual about the mirror itself?
Tommy, would you like any mind-expanding cactus over there?
What's it smell like?
I think it's been here for a while.
It actually doesn't smell very nice.
No, it smells really bad.
It smells like kind of stale urine.
I'm going to take off a little tiny piece and eat it.
He's going to the wild side, Mr. Epstein.
Break on through.
I'll maybe have a little nibble just to taste it, see if it does taste like urine.
Tastes horrible.
Not that he knows what the taste of urine is, but
it tastes horrible.
All right, William, read that. Let me know when you're done.
Burning.
What's so funny? Why are you all giggling in there?
So, Tommy, you actually bite some?
Yeah, just trying to taste it, see what it. I've never had peyote before.
It does not taste particularly good. Oh, you don't swallow it? Oh, that's dumb. Swallow it. That's when the fun starts.
It can't be that potent, is it? I'm just taking a little bit.
No, it's you have to take loads of it.
Okay.
Where she could get something like that from.
all of a sudden, William
30.
starts to shake and closes his eyes, and he's staggering backwards and suddenly lurches back towards the wall and hits against the door and starts to speak Latin and then Aramaic and then another language and another language. Spanish comes out. I don't know if anyone can speak Spanish, but it sounds not like a man's voice, but a female's voice. And all these different languages are coming out, and he's against the wall. And then his eyes are kind of opening up. And it's just the white of his eyes.
Everyone inside the room, you literally see William pulled away from the table. He literally flies away and smashes into the far wall. And he's like shaking.
Is that a woman's voice? I come running back into the room.
Something's happening here. It's William.
Everyone can hear this.
He's speaking in tongues or something.
I told you there's dead people in this room.
So I'm letting Ken take the reins here.
In a Spanish accent, I wouldn't bother trying it. In a Spanish accent. My daughter, where is she? Where is she? My daughter. Can you see her?
Who are you?
Maria, my daughter, she is gone. Can you see her? You hear a tapping noise.
Yeah, we can hear
rats in the walls.
Table tapping. It's the spirits.
Yeah. So William, are you still like convulsing, shaking?
I think he's calming down. His eyelids are fluttering. You can still see the white of his eyes. He's kind of sighing as if something's fading.
So
his head falls down.
Let's help him sit down in the
he says,
room.
Hawk.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab him and walk him out of the room.
He kind of feels rigid, like you can't move him, like his feet are pinned to the floor. And he says, I'm so sorry. He says, I'm sorry.
Thompson is also in the room.
What's wrong?
He sounds like an older man's voice just now. It's Thompson, are you there? Thompson?
I'm here, but you know what? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Can I roll an occult to see if perhaps he's...
I think we all believe that he's possessed by the spirits of the dead.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to see what exactly triggered it.
Hawk and Thompson, you need to know. It is horrible there in this realm. It's horrible. You cannot fail. You cannot fail.
What's your name? Who are you?
I am Gregory. Gregory Hayward Norcross.
You're gonna
That
have to
was
remind us.
Sorry.
It's been a while.
Mick.
Sorry. That was the father. Gregory. Yeah, Gregory Norcross. I came from Boston,
Gregory.
Latin school, to Miskatonic. I took my bachelor's in Miskatonic. I graduated. I went to the war, the Great War. I came back wounded. 1918, I became an investigator. I developed a reputation in Arkham.
And you took the book.
You need to know. It's horrible. Hawk, it's horrible. You cannot fail. If you fail, it's doom. 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 William's starting to kind of float back and forward, swoon back and forward.
We're holding on to William to keep him from falling over.
William, look at the messages.
He kind of gets firm again, stands, and his head kind of bends down again. And it's almost like the way he stands is completely different. Like almost military. Shoulders go back. William's actually, as a character, is quite a tall guy, but he tends to kind of walk stoop, so he kind of stretches up a bit. Jeremy White, Anthony, sir. And then he kind of swoons a wee bit again and then sags down. And then he's kind of going limp in your arms as you're supporting him.
Okay.
I think we should get out of this room.
We need to get him out of this room.
Yeah, I don't want to be in here anymore. Let's move on. I'll help.
Can we move him now?
Yeah, you guys begin moving him. Ken, if you'd like to take one more look. So they're literally, you guys are literally dragging him out. He's limp.
Right.
Perhaps Tommy notices as they're dragging him. William looks up at Tommy, and he has a big grin in his face, and then kind of.
So
he turns around to you, Hawk, and says, "The void, the void, the void," and kind of slumps again.
So he has now exited the room. You are now in the rear parlor. As soon as you're all out, you guys, like I said to Hawk, you guys didn't really notice it in that room, but as you enter into the rear parlor, there's a weight lifted.
Yeah.
You can hear with such force, it seems like someone's pulling it, the rug swing shut.
And we lay William on the couch.
Okay.
William's just exhausted. He's just...
William, are you all right?
What? How did I get here?
You don't remember anything that just happened to you?
What happened? Who put me in this couch?
Well, considering that I'm sitting next to you with my arm around you.
Okay, Mr. Hawk, why are we sitting on this couch?
Has anyone got a flask? I think he could probably do with a drink.
Well, to answer your question, it would seem that the dead have spoken through you.
Well, give me a drink.
You must be sensitive, more sensitive than you knew.
I could feel something in the room when we went in.
Me too.
I know that you thought it was the mirrors, but I'm sure I saw lots of eyes. William kind of shudders and takes a sanity roll
Go ahead.
and passes. I'll take a point anyway.
Sure.
He's just tired. He's just tired and exhausted.
Oh, well, have yourself a drink. Rest there. I wouldn't suggest you go back into that room.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I don't know what's going on here. We still have the rest of the house to explore, but it would seem that Miss Tally was an effective medium in summoning up the dead. She wasn't a fake, if that means something.
Oh, sure does.
What's that?
I say it sure does. It means that we're dealing with something that I was hoping not to really deal with. I hope this was going to be when I came back here, I figured it would be a bit more of a straightforward investigation.
Well, you know that was not going to happen.
Well, one can hope and dream, you know.
I want to ask a quick question of the GM. The woman in the picture in the hallway, which I assume is Tally, was she by chance also the woman we saw in the hotel getting into the elevator as we were getting out?
No.
Okay.
No. You guys are... Hawk, you mentioned it as you were leaving. I'm going to give you a chance now. Let's see here. I want to pull it up for me really quick. Go ahead. The couch is right beside the bookshelf. Go ahead and give me a library use roll, just very quickly.
Where is my library? My library is 65. I rolled an 80, so no. I'm more concerned with William right now.
Okay. Who is also beside William?
Well, Felix is right here.
Okay.
Yes.
Felix, give me either an occult or a library use.
Okay. Oh. Which of those is better?
William says to Tommy, "Is my boomerang there?"
They're both 40. So.
Now, William, is
I got an 8.
You never let it go.
Is it a boomerang or is it a Kylie?
I didn't ken, laddie. There's another accent coming out now.
Felix, you got a very good roll. So as Hawk is literally tending to William. He's focused on that, and you're kind of set beside him. You just kind of do a glance, just a cursory glance to your right, and look at the bookshelf. And at this distance, you can see all the names of the books. It's some crazy shit. Solomonic magic, druidism, astral projection, ancient Greek magics, seances, electronic communication with dead spirits, hollow earth theory, auras, human collective consciousnesses, exorcism. The list goes on and on and on and on.
What is this electronic word you used?
Oh, I actually looked this up. They had electronic communications with dead spirits, radios. They tried hearing voices in the static. Yeah. But what strikes you, Felix, almost you're kind of looking and you spot it. Hard black leather book, iron clasps extending from the spine of the book, kind of wrapping around it. There is a tag that kind of dangles out from the pages just on the spine. On a Spreckelicken Colton.
There we go. Spreckelicken Colton.
That's a rather unusual looking book.
It stands out from all the rest.
We had trouble with the book before. I'm curious though, because all the other ones seem to be like just sort of your standard mass-produced books, but that looks like something special. I'm just going to have a look at it.
Sure.
Just slide it out and just have a look at it. If it's an old book, it might be worth something.
You pull it out and you open it. Definitely old. For those who know their Cthulhu mythos, this is not a reprint.
So 1500s.
Yeah, old. And in between the pages, on white leather paper, you can see that someone, Fowler, you recognize the handwriting as the same handwriting as in we that you found downstairs. Someone is translating the book. And they're about 3/4 of the way through.
Ah.
Wow, that'll take a lot of time.
Well, I mean, just looking at this translation, what is it? What's this book about?
So, and pardon me if I'm not as up to date with my Cthulhu mythos as I used to be, but it is basically a text that contains information on cults. The main one that it focuses on is an unpronounceable name that starts with a G. I can't remember what it is. It's not Galaki, it's something else. But it talks about, like you're looking through, and it talks about the Brotherhood of the Bloody Tongue. It talks about something called the Brotherhood of the Yellow Sign, the Witches of Westbrook. Talks about some kind of black stone in Honduras. It talks about the Brotherhood of the Skin. It literally is categorizing all of these cults and writing down as what little information the author could come up with. The main one, however, that takes up the bulk of the middle is the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. It would take you weeks for you to kind of pour through all of this. It's a very large book. It's no easy feat to go through this book and just reading the translation. It's a thick book. It's a tome. So Felix is standing there, and Hawk and Thompson. As soon as you look up and you see Felix holding the book, you immediately know what it is because of your experience with the Arcane Society.
Yeah. Felix, can you say there's a fairly decent translation, at least partly done there?
Yes.
I would just suggest you don't read it. Unaussprechlichen Kulten is one of those forbidden tomes that's not like the Scarlet Letters. I mean the Crimson Letters.
But it seems from what I can see just by quickly leafing through it and glancing at a few of the translations, it seems to be about cults.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that exactly the problem we've got that we're? I mean, look at this. This must be something to do with a cult.
Yeah. Not only that, it also talks about like items of relevance to the cult, locations of the cult, locations of the items. It's got everything. It's just
the 1839 version, the original, is it's also illustrated, isn't it?
Yes, but this is not the 1839 version.
Oh no, okay. Is it the 1843 version?
I believe let me pull it up.
1839 is the original too. So
Yeah.
18,
I know.
I was wrong. I was thinking of De Vermis Mistress.
Let's see.
There's the Golden Goblin edition from 1909. That's,
Right.
Let's see. I have the 1845, not the English edition.
the Bridewell edition.
Yeah. Well,
Nameless Cults. That's cool.
yeah. Well, let's see here. What do I have? Oh no, I just kidding. It is the 1839 one. The 1845 one is the one with the mistranslations.
That's right. That's the one with the cheap woodcuts.
Well, just kidding. So ignore that I said 1845 because that's a note if you decide to look into it further.
Friedrich Wilhelm von Juntz.
The Black Book. Yeah, I've got my notes on it right here.
With the original illustrations by Gunther Haas.
My character reads German, so probably looked into a few versions of this text.
If I've leafed through it and encountered some of the illustrations, I might need to make a sanity roll for that.
Yeah, they're brutal. It vividly describes rituals performed by the cults.
Well, I say, Felix, I warned you.
Yeah, I failed that.
Let's see. What I have all the information from the manual here. 2d4.
2d4.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Lucky.
3
So-
points.
So with that, Felix closes the book very quickly, and there's just like the colors run from his face.
4. Yeah, you might be right about that, Hawk. Yeah,
Williams.
those. I mean, those the illustrations in that are a bit close to the mark. To be honest with you, yeah. I'm yeah, maybe not.
Let's just set
Maybe
that
not one
aside.
to read.
I know some people that should go to. People who will keep it locked up.
Phew, dear.
Well, you mentioned something about the Pharaoh, and Professor Thompson knows about Egypt stuff, doesn't he? So maybe he should look at it.
Yeah, Henry, what do you know about the Black Pharaoh?
What do I know about the Black Pharaoh?
Well, you know that it has something in connection with a certain cult that you're looking into.
Okay.
There's connections between them, and I believe you were looking into the Brotherhood of the Beast.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, there's connections. Not sure.
I'll say basically, I don't know much about them, but only in passing. And what would I know about them in passing? I mean, through my own personal research.
You know that the Brotherhood of, or the followers of the Black Pharaoh were essentially priests in ancient Egypt that wanted to usurp the throne. But that's really all you know.
So I'll say that. I'll let you. I mean, like, that's all I know, but it has something to do with a group of priests who attempted on many occasions to usurp the throne of the actual pharaoh. What I guess surmised that they were maybe followers of Set.
Yes. I mean, not in so many words.
But like since I don't know much about them.
Yeah.
I would probably conclude that they were followers of Set, probably trying to bring about, I guess, chaos within Egypt, within the royal hierarchy.
Yeah, all safe to say.
But I will also state that this is just, my own personal musings. I would have to do a bit more research on it, which gives me a project to do.
Well, now that you have that, what would you like to do now? You still have the upper floor and downstairs.
Is there a? Do we notice if there was like a basement level to this place?
No, longhouses don't have basements. They have attics.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's continue our search.
I'll go downstairs.
There still may be
I'll
someone in the house, so be careful.
yeah. I'll head towards the attic then.
Okay. Everyone else, William, how are you feeling?
Well, it might not feel up to going up to the top, so he'll maybe have a scout about if he's feeling up for it in the ground floor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kind of join you there, William.
Okay.
What about Hawk, Tommy, and Felix?
How about Tommy and Felix? You go first.
I'll stick nearby William and keep him within eyesight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Just gonna follow Hawk wherever he goes.
Okay.
He's got a gun, and the fact that he's got a gun makes me feel a lot safer. And at the moment, I'm still sort of reeling from what I just saw in that book. It was.
Well, did you guys want to go upstairs? Then you can have 3 upstairs and 3 in the main floor.
Well, I'm going to put my hand on Felix's shoulder and I'm going to say, some of this stuff is really, really disturbing. I think that we can surmise that if Tally is still alive, which I assume she is, she's left. That book there, I don't care about all that other stuff, but that book there, that needs to go somewhere. So,
yeah, I would say you're probably right there. That's not something that should be just left lying around.
It's I hate to sound sympathetic for the book, but they shouldn't have made notes actually in the text itself. This is an incredibly rare and valuable tome. Miskatonic University would love to have something like this, but
Yeah, we should definitely.
I'm giving this to the Arcane Society. They can tell me what to do with it.
But it seems to me that I mean, it just seems to me that these, Cowley and whoever else is behind this, they were in some sort of I'm not going to say rush, but there was urgency here.
We found a book in Timothy's library that had an Arabic inscription in it. And the text itself was written in Arabic, wasn't it?
Yes.
I know personally I translated it, but did Hawk ever get that translated?
I'm pretty sure you guys did get it translated.
All right.
It took some time.
Okay. Well,
I was in trouble.
I bring it up again and I say the text that we found, the little book, as I recall, it said something along the lines of, "To my beloved daughter, I give you this book of knowledge." It was basically a message from her father. From what we've seen in the house, I have an interesting feeling that those urns downstairs might contain the ashes of her parents. And from this up here, I think that she's been trying to contact them. She's definitely a gifted medium of some sort, and she has been searching for spells. And unfortunately, she has found some of them, and she's awakened something. William seems to be sensitive to it. I think I am too, although they didn't take me over. Yeah, we got to clear out some of this dangerous stuff, and I don't know what to do about that room over there. Something is set up. I don't know if we should scratch the symbols off the walls or.
I don't know. Without really knowing what it is, I wouldn't touch it.
You're right.
It could be a protection. Maybe
A
to keep
container.
something. Yeah. Maybe to keep something out.
With that, I'd like Thompson to give me an occult roll.
64 out of 65. Wow, I'm hitting it close today.
The way that everything is laid out in the room, the sigils on the ceiling, makes it very apparent that there was evocation involved. But the circles, the way the circles were laid out, now you didn't have the other 3 inscriptions deciphered, but it's possibly safe to assume that that's a magic circle. Okay. A circle of protection, so to speak.
I got you.
But they can be used 2 different ways. They can be used to contain a demonic entity, or they can be used to protect you from a demonic entity.
Right.
Now, I'm going to guess, is the circle exactly the same size as the table, or is it smaller than the table?
It's just big enough to where you can kind of slide a chair out and sit down.
So could something be contained on top of the table with the circle?
Or whoever's within can be protected from outside.
So they sit round the table like a seance in the protection of that circle.
Is there any sign of any corresponding markings on the floor?
There are no markings on the floor. It's just on the ceiling.
Which is unusual, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah.
Usually the circle's on the floor.
Mr. Fowler, have you got a book there? A different kind of book?
You actually don't see the book.
Oh, okay.
William sees it.
Yeah, we're watching you like a hawk.
I maybe just saw you putting it in your pocket, that was all. But it's not like a big magic book.
Fowler, William was in a completely different room.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? You never seen me have the book.
No, I must have imagined it when I took a funny turn.
Okay.
Oh, peyote.
But what's that sticking out your pocket?
I kind of show it to you. I found this. I just wanted to make sure,
What's the book called? Do you remember?
He pulls out "We" by Yevgeny Yazmatin.
Is that not the same as the one? Was it Timothy's House?
Mm-hmm.
It was a paperback book, and did it not say?
I remember.
But
I think there was a wee message in it, but I can't remember what it was.
There was no message.
No.
Samantha said that Timothy got her the book and said that she'd enjoy it.
But I kind of, show him, but look, it's completely in Russian, but it looks to be like it's translated.
Yeah, what he shows you is less of a translation and more of just like personal notes. Like she really likes the book and therefore has written like, "Ooh, I think this means this."
But I think it's Tally's book. Or somebody close, because whoever translated the one that Felix had, the big tome, is exact same as.
Same handwriting?
Yes.
So probably she had the book, she loved the book, she probably gave Timothy one, and he gave it to his wife. Maybe.
Or his wife found it.
Yeah.
And in order to excuse the presence of this thing, he told her it was a gift for her. Cover up his affair with Tally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So where are you guys headed off to now? 3 upstairs, 3 downstairs?
Well,
I'm heading up to the attic.
I'll go up with you guys. Well, we just got to get to the third level first.
Yeah. Third level / attic, and then ground floor. So let's start with the ground floor. So William, Tommy, Fowler, where are you guys going?
I say the dining room. There is a lot more books in the dining room, so I kind of don't want to let Clifton, Felix, and Henry know about. But yeah, there's tons of books here. Maybe we could find some interesting stuff there.
Is the dining room on ground floor?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, William likes books. He'll go and check that out.
Okay. What about you, Tom? Are you going with them? There's also the kitchen.
Yeah, I'll meander into the kitchen. I'm curious too if there's a back entrance.
There is, but just by opening it from the kitchen, it's a small little yard. Not a yard. It's like a little tiny garden, and then the alleyway. She's like made a little garden.
A city yard.
Yeah, a city yard.
Yeah, Tommy. While you're in the kitchen, you can put on.
Shut it down.
What's that, Mister?
Can you put on the kettle while you're?
Where's that peyote hat?
And
so Fowler, William, dining room, Tommy, kitchen. So let's start with the dining room. Yeah, William. Fowler wasn't kidding. There's tons of books. Stacks. They litter all over, except for one little portion where one of the incense hangers, it appears it's been taken down, opened, and it was in the process of being replaced. So there's also papers just kind of all over the place. Notes. They're all bundled up into stacks. Handwritten too, all of them handwritten in the same blue pen, gliding swoops, very beautiful handwriting. She clearly likes whoever, you assume it's Tally. She likes the handwritten word.
Do I get the feeling that it's her own studies from books that she's read? It's her own it's her own notes. Is it that kind of thing, or is it more personal stuff? Just at a glance.
At a glance, you can't really tell. It's all over the place about all kinds of different subjects. The ones that you can find in English, they seem academic. Like the
I stuff 3 or 4, fold them up and put them in my pocket for later.
Well, they're big stacks. They're like this big.
Yeah, a few pages in,
Okay.
just to get a sense of what she's on about.
Sure.
yeah, I'm gonna basically kind of do the same thing, kind of work together, trying to find some,
Sure. Fowler, as you're kind of going through everything, you're noticing that. And I'll give it to William too. You're noticing that you're going through the notes. The books, however, they're stacked up. You're noticing that they've got like stamps on the spine, and on the inside, they either read Columbia University or Low Memorial Library.
What was the name of the library?
Low Memorial, LOW Memorial.
Okay.
Fowler and William, give me a spot hidden.
Oh, fantastic.
I make it.
0.5, because I'm rubbish at this. So passed as well.
0.5. Oh, you're terrible. We'll give it to William since he got a 0.5. William, as you're kind of going through the stacks, you see on a note card. It's a blank note card. There's a note that reads, "Good job with this translation. Hope to see more soon. Guy."
Okay, I show it to Dexter.
I'm like, Guy.
Is it no address, anything like that on it?
The note card has a stamp on the side. Clearly, this was used as like stationery for Low Memorial Library.
Okay.
What part of the New York is Low Memorial?
It's part of Columbia, so near central Manhattan.
Okay. I kind of mentioned to William, and I kind of mentioned to hey, Tommy, I think we found a sort of a lead.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
I show him all the Low Memorial kind of.
Just as I leave the kitchen, can I check the fridge?
Yeah, so let's talk about the kitchen. It's kind of a mess. Dying plants are hanging from clay pots that are dangling from either like thick rope or chains that hang from the ceiling. Do you have a biology or natural world?
Biology, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a biology.
Ooh, I missed it by 3 points.
Well, you guys are going to have a luck regen, like as soon as we're done with this. So
Okay, I'll spend it.
Okay. The plants that you're seeing all around the kitchen are marigolds, bellflowers, hosta plant, and hanging ivy. You don't need spot hiddens for any of these. There are dirty kitchen dishes that kind of line up, very similar to your apartment, Tommy. You're a young guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I know we're all assuming that Tally hasn't been here in 2 weeks, but on a bad day, you're pretty much describing my apartment. So
Yeah.
I just am like checking the fridge. I'm looking for more concrete evidence that.
Yeah, and as you're looking around at the dishes, you could see that someone's left vegetables on the counter, and it's clearly wilted. They're not rotting. It's cold enough that they're not just like outright rotting and flies are everywhere, but they've just been left out.
Okay.
There's also a pot of water that's just kind of sitting on the countertop, and then uncooked penne just kind of spilt on the stove, the box kind of off to the side.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like she left in a hurry.
You said you want to look in the fridge if the power's off. All the food in there is probably rotting.
Okay, that's pretty much like I just want to make sure that she wasn't still living there under these nasty conditions, and
No.
clear that she's
clearly left. Yeah. Give me a spot hidden now.
$31 is a hard.
As you're just about, so you've done your cursory look. Fowler said, "Hey, come look at this." You're walking out, and you turn just to do your one more once over.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the floor. Your eyes are kind of focused on the countertops and the plants that are kind of hanging from the ceiling. Then look at the floor.
Mm-hmm.
There is a small section, like just a few inches, where you can see harsh scratch marks into the hardwood of the kitchen. And focusing on it, even though it's dark, you can see dried blood. As for the electricity and the heat, she did not pay her bill.
Mm-hmm.
Power's off.
I was just about to say that.
Yep. Although, really, it's only been about 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, you gotta pay every month. It's the middle of the month too.
Mm-hmm.
So she hasn't paid. She hasn't been here since the end of March.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's go to the upstairs people. So the three of you, Felix, Hawk, and Thompson, as you're walking up, more pictures, but the very first door that you see as you wind up the stairway is very obviously the master bedroom. There is no door. It's been taken off. There's a thin like veil, like a thin like tapestry, translucent, and you can even see kind of through it. You can see that there's a small mattress on a shoddy bed frame, radio, alarm clock. They sit on a nightstand, accompanied by a candlestick with a little brass catcher. There's a vanity, and you can see that it's got makeup and jewelry. It's not a very nice room. It's clearly someone who's relatively poor. You're in the poor neighborhoods of Brooklyn anyways. But as you kind of take a cursory glance, you see that beside the vanity is a painting. A painting of the very same woman that Hawk saw in the photograph downstairs.
So Timmy painted her picture.
Yes, actually. If you look closely, Hawk, you can see Timothy Tucker's signature in the bottom right corner.
Ah, so this is definitely the woman then.
Go ahead, Hawk.
Is there anything in the room that might indicate where she went? Like a bus ticket or
no. However, there is, if you look into the walk-in closet, you can see that there are these colorful dresses and niqabs and hijab shawls that just cover the floor. They're all over the floor. Henry,
like
are you
fell off?
More like something I would do, which is you grab it, you pull it off, you look at it, and you're like, eh. And you just kind of put it on the ground.
Okay.
No, you wouldn't. I can see all your clothes on hangers from.
You
where
can't
we are
see
now.
my
They're right behind you.
You can't see my floor, can you?
No.
Yeah. Trust me, I'll bring my girlfriend in here. That's all my girlfriend's clothes. My clothes are over here.
So what you're saying is this woman is like a 20-year-old male from the modern times living in the 1930s.
Well, like Tommy downstairs, more just like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, ladies, send your emails to Tom at.
I'm not saying it.
But
I mean, I just assumed that everyone color-coded and alphabetized their wardrobes like I do.
No, that's just you.
And
I just
going
assumed that in the
by season.
that during the Depression, people would be very careful with their clothes, not to ruin them.
Well, during the 20s and 30s as a whole, you tend to have two good suits. You know, a normal suit and your better suit for Sunday best and special occasions, and that's kind of it.
And these are very nice dresses and hijabs, you know, shawls, like very nice. The rest of the house is kind of but the dresses definitely are how she expresses oneself. Thompson, yes. You're looking for the attic. There in the master bedroom, in the hallway on the third floor, there is a single little string.
To pull down, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, can I interrupt for a stupid question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hijabs, is that Muslim?
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Muslim, but it's Middle Eastern. In that particular region. Yeah. Usually it's worn in a hot, like dry desert heat. to cover up or whatever. And it becomes a cultural thing after a while. But yeah.
So I could assume that she's Muslim, but it's not necessarily true. Is that
her name is?
She's Middle Eastern. Yeah.
She could just be affecting that style.
Well, her name is Egyptian, and the dominant religion of Egyptians is Islam.
But at the same time, all of those things downstairs are idols, and she wouldn't have them in her home if she was a Muslim.
True.
So she's Middle Eastern.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to does Tommy think that, based off of the hijabs, that she would be Muslim? Would that be a reasonable assumption?
For Tommy, yes.
Okay. All right, thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. For Jeff and everyone else, maybe not, but for Tommy, probably, or just be like, she's Egyptian. Of course, all Egyptians wore, weird burqa things. I'm sorry to all Egyptian and Middle Eastern people who watch this show. I mean, no offense. So, Thompson, you pull the cord, and immediately the little stairs come down. They fold out. You have access to the upstairs.
All right. I think I found the way up, gentlemen.
Thompson, I should also note that there is one final room upstairs. It's just down the hallway.
Well, we can check that before we go up, but it's, I guess, the ladder leading up to the attic is down now. So let's check the last room, and then let's head to the attic.
Okay. Hawk and Felix, are you just going to stay in the room?
Just give it a thorough look over, but doesn't look like there's much here but ladies' things.
How about you, Felix?
Well, if Dr. Thompson has just alerted us to finding the attic, I'm going to go out and see what's going on with him.
Okay. And so Thompson has just pointed out the other door. It is closed. The final door in the house is closed.
Let's look. Let's not have anything sneak up on us. So let's check everything on this floor first, and then head up to the attic.
Okay.
Okay. Thompson, since you pointed it out, I'm going to say that you're taking point.
Yeah, but I'll let the guy with the gun.
Okay.
I've been shot enough in this adventure.
Don't you have your sword cane?
I'm walking with a cane.
He got shot in the gut. He's got a broken rib.
That's right. I got shot too, hey, remember?
Yeah, I know. I patched you both up.
All right.
But you seem a bit more hardy.
I'll go first.
Okay.
And you're younger.
So you open the door?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being careful, being cautious.
So Hawk, you push the door. There's a little bit of resistance, but you manage to just kind of force it open. It's the wind. The window upstairs is open. And it's clearly been open for some time because the room is cold, and paper and letters kind of litter the floor and carpet of this. This is clearly a study.
Well, looking to the right and to the left to make sure nobody's hiding up here, I go straight over to the window and I close it.
Just bookshelves, and then directly in front of you is a desk. So you walk over and close the window. To Felix and Henry, who are staying kind of behind, you're looking at the papers on the floor, and lots of them are clearly articles and parts of books. All of them in different languages, but all of them in the top right corner, they have a stamp that says Low Memorial Library. There's a little reading nook by a cast iron furnace, but that's really of no interest. Hawk, you're by the desk. You've closed the window. The paper stopped rustling. Give me a spot hidden.
Oh. Spot hidden. Got 65 out of 70, so I just made it.
On the desk, there's a stack of books about 2 feet high, all of them from Columbia University. It says they're on the spine, and if you were to flip them open, it would have a stamp saying Columbia University. There'd be a library card, and then Low Memorial.
How many books do they let you take out of this Low Memorial? Has she just been stealing all of these books?
Beside the books is a green Royal portable typewriter. There's no paper in it. There's no paper in the machine. But beside it, you see a typed letter that is just underneath a paperweight of a sphinx.
Okay.
Okay.
I pick it up and I look at it.
All right. Because of the weird formatting that my computer is doing, I'm just going to read it out loud because we have 1 minute left. To whoever finds this, my name is Tally among Darby, and this may be the first truly honest thing I've done in a long while. For the past 3 months, I have been seeing a man by the name of Timothy Tucker who lives with his family in Queens. How we met is irrelevant. What has developed between us since then is undeniable. My love has spurred a love has spurred between us, the likes of which are only written about in stories. And it is because of this love that I write this letter. Together, my love and I made a plan to leave this city behind and start anew. With what money we had, my love Timothy left his wife to prepare our new home. However, I felt riddled with guilt. I attempted to leave a letter explaining our passion to his family, but I could not go through with it. Instead, I write this letter in hopes that someone finds it. Please tell his wife I'm sorry. T. Darby.
Well, this seems to solve a big problem.
Yeah.
Hawk, Felix, and Thompson. Give me an intelligence roll.
41
17.
out of 70.
17 out of 80.
Felix, what was yours?
4 out of 70.
Wow.
Felix.
Passed. Yeah.
I'm on a roll tonight.
I'm gonna
The Brits are getting the awards tonight, brother.
I'm gonna type something over to you. Give me a sec.
None of this really adds up, but
Well, on the face of it, it seems pretty open and sharp. But
Go ahead, Felix.
one thing does kind of bug me about this, though. I mean, everything else we've seen in the house indicates that this woman absolutely loves writing by hand. She writes in the margins of her books. She writes all these notes. She writes translations. Yet, why would she choose then to type a letter proclaiming her love? Doesn't that seem out of character?
It does.
well,
Or you're implying that perhaps somebody forged this just so that we can go back to his wife, tell his wife that he's been unfaithful. He probably ran off with his Tally. She's nowhere to be found. And then we end the investigation, and that's that. We're out of whoever's behind all of this. We're out of their hair, basically.
Well, yeah, and it seems a bit damn convenient as well that we just happened to find this letter here. Also, I mean, if she left to run off with Timothy, then why was the front door wide open?
what? There's a lot of questions about that. Why would you leave your place all open to the wind? What are all these other papers all over the floor? All these other pages on the floor, are they typewritten?
I was going to say,
There,
can we do a thorough search in this room?
yeah, the paper's all on the ground. Like I said, they're mainly articles or just selective things from Columbia University, things that are in other languages. You can see that on the backs of the page is a handwritten translation, basically, in a blue pen. The same blue pen that was translating the tome, that was translating the books downstairs, and that's in the book that Fowler currently has.
But she owns a typewriter. It's a mystery.
Have we found anywhere else in the house anything that appears to be typewritten?
On the desk, you can see that there are some letters in Columbia stationery, but they are typed with T. Darby.
We need to go to Columbia. Maybe she teaches there or taught there. She has a lot of connections to Columbia University.
Well,
Yeah.
to be able to get to have that access to the library, she must have a library there.
She certainly isn't checking all these books out.
No.
And I think they would allow a professor to check out as many books as.
Well, especially if she's translating them.
Right.
Hmm.
But then writing in the margins of the books, unless somehow she purchased these books. I mean, we're assuming that she's on the up and up. She could have clearly just stolen these things.
Well, we'll have to think about it. There is a mystery here.
Didn't you say that rather unpleasant book that we found downstairs was particularly valuable?
Indeed.
Hmm.
And one that should not be for public exposure.
Seems kind of weird to find a book that valuable in a rundown place like this. It's not the kind of neighborhood where people go around spending fortunes on books.
No. And that one, if she purchased it, I can't even imagine where she could purchase such a thing.
Well, and so we will end there for today.
All right. Our players included Mick Swan, Jeff Wilkins, Corey Highstead, Ken Trench, Wayne Worthy, and myself, with Thomas McKeon as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. We have a new patron, Gillian Tover Haworth, has pledged $3 a month. Thank you very much, Gillian.
Thank you.
If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We like reading them. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.